batch group consists of 4 separate panes. There's the search dialog, the results dialog, the Gantt chart, and the trend of the process variables themselves. Each one of these 4 panes work in conjunction with one another. So if I look at the search dialog, the first thing I can do is I can select multiple PI servers, I can select different servers, or I can select data manufactured in different plants and compare them to one another on the same display. I can look at batches that are running, completed, or both, and in this case I'm looking at all batches that ran within the last 3 days, that were active at all in the last 3 days for any length of time. I could change this. I could say maybe I only want to see batches that were shorter than 90 minutes in the last 3 days. If I hit the search dialog, you can see now that these are only the batches that are less than 90 minutes that ran within the last 3 days. If I look at the results dialog, I can click on one of these, and as I open it up, you can see that this batch consists of 2 unit batches, and these 2 unit batches are illustrated here on the Gantt chart as well. The 2 unit batches have sub-batches underneath them, and again they're represented on the Gantt chart. Each sub-batch, in this case it's an operation, has underneath it phases. If I go to the other display for the Gantt chart, I could select one of these entities. I can do a right mouse button click, and I could align to every heat phase. And what that's going to do is make certain that all of these trends align up to the heat phase, where this is at 0 minutes. I could then go back and revert. The color scheme I selected is active is green, recently completed is brown, and any completed one is blue. If I select one of these, you can see that it highlights here on the Results tab. I could hide it by clicking here, or I could make it my golden batch, and that will stay there even though the rest of the display will update. That golden batch will always remain on the display. I'm going to use the batch group to analyze some of the process repeatability within these batches. If I open up the Gantt chart, I can see there are 2 unit batches within these batches, and by windowing around R2401, what I get are the unit batches that were run in that unit. If I open up R2401, I can now see the operations that ran. If I decide I want to window around, let's say, the React operation, what I get now is the relative durations of all the React operations, as well as the temperature profiles during those time frames. Further expanding this, I can look into the, let's say, the heat phase, and if I window around this, what I'm going to do now is view the relative durations of all of the heat phases, as well as the temperature during those time frames.